Welcome back to the Badass Literature Society, where badasses come together to rate and review novels recommended by you. We're back with another Buy It, Borrow It, or Forget About It segment with Barbara.
Hey guys, I'm back with another segment of my Buy It, Borrow It, or Forget About It episode. Remember that I will try to be as spoiler-free as possible while still discussing the book. There won't be any plot spoilers at all, and try to avoid that kind of stuff for you. So I wanted to give a special thanks to NetGalley and Little Brown and Company for sharing this digital review copy in change for my honest review. This time around, I got to read The Drowning Summer by Christine Lynn Herman. And this book is coming out April 19th of 2022, and as far as I'm aware of, this book is a standalone. Just like in our normal podcast, I think it's important for readers to know if any representation is in the books I've read. So for this book, there are minor POC characters, LGBTQ plus characters galore, and no persons with disabilities. So I say, with this book falls under the YA mystery thriller / paranormal club for me. And The Drowning Summer switches between our two main characters, and we've got Evelyn and Mina, as they battle creepy things that go bump in the night. And by the creepy things that go bump in the night, we are referencing ghosts in this book. So this book does have ghosts in it, and I do love a good, well-written ghost story, and this book definitely has that and more. So the book takes place in Long Island Sound, and something's causing the ghost population to act up more than normal, and it's up to our budding main squeezes to figure out what. So that I also mentioned this book has ghosts because, it does. And beautifully well-written characters with great story arcs. And the ocean. Cannot forget about the ocean. Plays a big main role, I'd say, kind of like, one of those third characters that's not really a character, one of those things. But yes, the ocean has the ocean in it. Okay, so let's talk about the things that I loved, which were a lot. I really, really loved a lot about this book. Okay, so this book is in third-person perspective, and you get dual point of view between the two main characters. So we've got, once again, Evelyn and Mina. And they're pretty much who you follow around the book. You get a few other side characters. I think they might have a little bit in there, but not really. Those two are your main ones. So Evelyn, she is the one with the rough edges. She's passionate, she's short-tempered, but she's always wearing her heart on her sleeve, whereas you get Mina on the other side, who's the complete opposite, right? So Mina is like stuffing any and all emotions down, never really letting herself feel anything, always too worried that she needs to be perfect. And, of course, until Evelyn comes barging through her perfectly laid plans, as one does. So I loved getting to know these two characters and seeing them interact with one another and all the other side characters. So we start off with Mina. She comes from a family of mediums. Her mom and her uncle are both practicing mediums in this town that they live in. And she wants to join the family business, but her mom is very reluctant to let her in on it. And you kind of, throughout the book, understand the reasoning behind that. And then Evelyn is, they used to be best friends until some stuff happened, and they no longer were talking anymore at the start of the book, at least. And Evelyn has an older sister, and then her father is the one who is accused. And P.S., this is not spoilers, this is literally in the back of the book. So 10 years ago from the start of this book, there were 3 teenagers who drowned, and they never found who did it. And Evelyn's father was a person of interest, and Evelyn and Mina did some ghosty rituals and stuff like that to try to save her father from going to jail. Evelyn's father, by the way, from going to jail. And it works, but then that's kind of where their friendship fissured because some stuff happened and between Mina and Evelyn, and that's why they were no longer friends. So Evelyn kind of has this stigma in the town for being the daughter of the dad who was not fully accused and not, didn't go to jail for the murder of these 3 teenagers, but it's kind of, she just feels she has this chip on her shoulder about it, because she always feels like people are judging her for being the daughter of the father who was accused of murdering these 3 teenagers. The story starts with Evelyn breaking up with her boyfriend, Nick, and he kind of is one of the other characters that you kind of get to know a little bit later. So he's one of the other main side characters. And we've got Mina's mom as well, and her uncle and her cousin, all mediums in the family business. So what I really liked about this book is just all the characters really felt three-dimensional, even the side characters that I mentioned, and even some of it, like Evelyn's friends, really add to the story and the characterization. It makes them really feel fleshed out. The story arcs and character arcs, like I said, felt flushed out. I enjoyed the representation with the LGBTQ plus main characters and POC side characters, and I believe this is not a spoiler either, but the 2 main characters, Evelyn and Mina, are both bi. So outside of the romance, I did enjoy Mina and Evelyn together as just 2 friends hashing it out and trying to go through this ghost hunting plot murder mystery thing that's going on in this book. I think they were well written. I really enjoyed their banter together. I thought their relationship as friends was really neat, because they went from being really good friends to this thing pulling them apart to then kind of joining back together because of certain circumstances, and just loved it all. Okay, so moving on, we have the story. Like I said, I would consider this a murder mystery, whodunit, ghost story-esque type of fantasy book. Fantasy because of the ghost, obviously. And so the ghosts were perfectly creepy when they were described. I feel like they were described well, haunting in a great way. Descriptions were on par, like chef's kiss, right? The murder mystery kept me guessing and like staying up late at night, being like, I need to read one more chapter, because I just was so enthralled with what was going on. Like the pacing was great. I had no issue with the pacing. When the story, or like when the plot was leading the story, it was great. When the characters were leading the story, it was great. I didn't have any issues with the pacing. So I think Herman did an amazing job of shifting between the plot and character development. Like I mentioned, she did a beautiful job of weaving these 2 narratives really well, and then the story never really felt dull to me. So I never felt like one or the other was lacking. I was thoroughly engrossed the whole time. But like I mentioned, I do not really want to get into too much here for the plot, just because I don't want to spoil anything for readers, because like I said, it is a murder mystery, and that is the fun part about reading these types of books. So if I were just going to spoil that for you, that would be no fun for you guys. But just know, if you love a good ghost story with a thrilling murder mystery plot, you'll definitely want to pick this up. And who knows, maybe when the book comes out and you guys want a full, more detailed review of what's going on, I will publish that or put that out there for you guys. So like I said, I really enjoyed getting to know the characters. The creepy atmospheres that the ghosts added to the story was amazing, and then gotta love trying to unravel the mysteries behind everything. Also another plus, the romance between the character wasn't in your face, but definitely a slow burn. So I didn't think it detracted from the story, but added another beautiful layer to it, and I really enjoyed that. But man, that slow burn got me. I was totally rooting for it the whole time. Loved their romance. I squealed every time I read about it. Like I said, it is a slow burn though, and you do mostly get more of like them becoming friends again, leading to that romance. And I feel like, once again, I'm not spoiling anything here for the romance, because once in the back, it's hinted that they are attracted to one another. So not spoil anything here for you guys. But definitely, if you are looking for LGBTQ characters, like I said, they're both bi, and the romance is between both of the main characters, Evelyn and Mina. So if that's kind of what you're looking for in the romance, this is a book for you. I absolutely loved their relationship, like I said, friendship and romance. Otherwise, it was beautifully well written. I enjoyed it, so I think you might enjoy this as well. I don't think the ghost would creep you out unless you find things really creepy. Like I said, if you've been listening to our podcast, I read Stephen King, and it's not like that creepy because it's appropriate. It is young adult, so you're not gonna get like Stephen King creepy, but the ghosts are described well, and the scenarios definitely gives you like the heebie-jeebies while you're reading it. So the book definitely had some undertones of environmental issues, mainly about the ocean and marine life, but I never felt like it was preachy, or at least it didn't feel preachy to me. Granted, I do care about that stuff already, so take that as you will, but I didn't think it detracted from anything. I wasn't like rolling my eyes. I wasn't going like, ugh, another, environmental book about environment and blah blah blah, whatever you want to say. I didn't have an issue with that. I really don't think a lot of people do, unless you're oh man, I feel judgy saying that. Well, anyways, I just don't think it was in your face or one of those things. If that's what you're worried about, I really wouldn't. I think it's just something to be aware of. I enjoy that part of it. Like I said, I love marine life in the ocean. I live by the ocean, so kind of gotta like that, I guess. But I like that part of the book. I enjoyed it. Once again, didn't think it was over by any way. As far as recommending this book, yes, I already have been recommending this book to people because the characters are well written, have amazing story arcs. The mystery kept me enthralled and engaged and wanting to keep reading. The like I said, the ghosts were described vividly in all their, ghostly eeriness. Once again, the romance, like, mwah, chef's kiss, man. And the platonic relationships also really felt believable, and I was sad when I finished the book. So yeah, definitely would recommend it. So can't wait to purchase my copy of this book when it does come out. The cover is really cool, and the little inserts, if they still keep it, of the sand dollars, I thought was really cute and well done. Can't wait to add this book to my collections and, talk about it to anyone who has the misfortune to ask me about a book recommendation, of course. For that is my review, and of course, to the main part of why I'm doing it. Is it a buy it, borrow it, or forget about it, one of those books? I feel like up to this point, if you've been listening to the whole thing and you haven't figured out what I'm going to say, I think I'm doing a bad job of describing books then. Anyways, this is definitely a buy it for me. Like I mentioned, I am buying this book when it does come out. I really, really, really enjoyed reading this book. I fell in love with the characters and the plot. I really enjoyed the murder mystery, getting to read about the girls and their relationship. And like I said, even their relationship with their friends, like Evelyn figuring out that it's okay to rely on people because of what she had to go through, and seeing her blossom in that way, and Mina not being so perfect, kind of related to that since I tend to be a little like that. It was nice to see, and I enjoyed the setting. I am an ocean girl, and it definitely is the ocean vibes, and I love that about this book as well. So I say it's a buy it. 2 thumbs up for me. Absolutely love this book, and I hope this review helps you decide whether you also want to buy it. Anyways, guys, that is it for now. I will be back whenever I get another ARC copy of a book that I'm lucky enough to get an ARC copy of. And I actually do currently have one that I am reading. So until next time, guys, I will see you guys later, and thanks for listening. Bye.